Welcome to Hope and Belonging Highlight. I'm Allison Wickline Burns, and joining me for today's highlight is Lauren Sherwood, our Director of Agency Directed Services. Lauren, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
And today we are talking about Agency Directed Services, which is DePaul's newest program. First of all, just introduce that to us. What is it? What communities can you serve, and how does that program work?
Sure. So the Agency Directed Services Program is for folks that are any age. We have babies all the way up to, we have a 99-year-old lady in our service. So any age, it spans their whole lifespan. But they need to qualify for what we call nursing facility level care. So typically, if the patient's a child, it's someone with a disability. If it's someone that's aging, maybe they've gotten to the point of aging that they can't live independently, but they still want to remain in their home. And so we like to work with folks so that they get the supports that they need. It's very person-centered. So for some folks, it looks like a little bit of supervision, just kind of making sure that they are safe, that they're staying where they need to stay, and not maybe wandering off or getting lost, things like that. Maybe being reminded to take their medications when they're supposed to so they don't miss an important dose. For some folks, it's more involved based on what they need. So if they need assistance with things like getting dressed, bathing, moving around, transferring from a bed to a wheelchair, things like that, then hands-on assistance is available as well. And for adults, it can also include things like light housekeeping, prepping meals, doing laundry, making their bed, things like that. So it's very person-centered. It's hard to give it a one size fits all, but that's exactly how the plan's designed to be. But one of the really cool things about this program is that family members can be reimbursed for providing the service. So that's something that we have found that a lot of families, whether it's an adult that's taking care of their aging parents or it's a parent taking care of a child with a disability, maybe they've left a job in order to be able to do this, in order to be able to get their loved one to all of their appointments, therapies, be there for hospitalizations or recoveries from surgeries, things like that. And it's hard nowadays. Everything's expensive, right? So it's hard not to have that income. And so this program, while you won't get rich doing it, you will get reimbursed a little bit for taking care of your loved one if they qualify for the service. So about 96% of our families have a family member for the caregiver. And then for the ones that don't, like if they come to us and they say, well, I just don't know anybody that can take care of me, or I don't have family that lives here locally, then we are able to advertise and hire a caregiver and place that person with them so that they have someone that checks in on them, that makes sure that they are safe and getting the care that they need.
So, why did DePaul start this program? It is obviously our newest program. Did we see a need in the community? I mean, where did this begin, and then how has the response been since it started?
So when you get approved for a Medicaid waiver and you need this level of home care, you can go kind of two different routes. You can go what we call consumer directed, where you're in charge of all the paperwork and everything yourself, or one that is less burdensome to the families is agency directed. And in that case, you have a licensed agency that does all the paperwork for you. That hires your caregiver for you, whether it be a family member or someone else, does all the vetting of that, gets them trained, and also manages your pay. They approve your time cards, they pay you directly. We pay every 2 weeks, direct deposit, so it's very quick. And what we were seeing is that a lot of folks that were doing the consumer directed path, they were like, this is so much paperwork for us to manage, or I don't know how to navigate this system. And so we wanted to create a program that really took that burden off of them. When you're caring for a loved one that has a disability or a special healthcare need, or they're aging, you already have a lot to worry about. You're worried about them, you're keeping track of appointments, medications, all those things. So the last thing you need is a full stack of paperwork to fill out. So we basically said, hey, let us take care of that. We're here to serve, and that's what we want to do. And so we take that burden off of them, make sure that everything gets completed. We have specialists that take care of all that stuff. And then their care is overseen by a registered nurse. So that's something that's a little different too. So they have a registered nurse coming in, checking in with them in their home. They don't have to leave their home to come see that person and getting the care. So it really, we looked at the Roanoke Valley is where we started. And we looked at that area, and there wasn't another agency serving children. There were some for adults, but they had really long waiting lists. And so the need was there, and we were happy to be able to kind of bridge that gap, and provide hope and belonging in the community. And then the response was so good. We grew so fast in Roanoke that last year we opened up an office in Christiansburg and Lynchburg to be able to serve those surrounding areas. So now we offer services in, I'd say, the Roanoke Valley and the surrounding areas. So Botetourt, Salem, Bedford, Covington, Allegheny. We've had a lot of patients from that area. And then out of our Christiansburg office, we serve Montgomery County, Radford, Giles, Pulaski, Carroll, all the way down to Wythe, Bland, and Floyd. And then in our Lynchburg office, we serve Lynchburg, Amherst, and Campbell counties. And then Bedford is kind of between Roanoke and Lynchburg.
So if someone is watching this or has heard about our program and they think this might be something that they could use or a family member could use, what is their first step? Where do they start? And what is your advice to them?
Okay, so they need a Medicaid waiver. And I think a lot of people hear the term Medicaid waiver and they think, well, I wouldn't qualify for that, or I don't know where to start. And that's not necessarily true. I think it's a best kept secret that the state has. So we would tell them to apply for a Medicaid waiver if they don't have it yet. If they don't know how to do that, we have folks here that can walk them through that whole process. But you basically contact your local DSS office, social services, and request a screening for long-term care. And what that looks like is a social worker and a nurse comes out to your home and basically interviews you about what kind of assistance you need in your daily life. And you just want to be real honest with them about what life looks like to you, how much help that you need. And then once you get approved, if you're approved, then you let us know, and we really take it from there to get things set up. So if they already have a Medicaid waiver and they want to get services started, all they have to do is call our office. So it's the Roanoke office. There's an option for them to press the number and get connected to someone in agency directed services. And that main number is 540-265-8923. And then any of us are able to help assist them, whether they need to be walked through the waiver screening process or they already have been approved and they want to get started.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for your time today and introducing us to this program. And we will be sure to have some information about the program as well as contact information on our website, on this Hope and Belonging highlight page. So that's DePaulCR.org/HB highlight if you're interested. And thank you all to everyone who is watching and tuning into these. We appreciate it. Our next Hope and Belonging highlight will be back next month.